So upcoming Friday nights, me and the degenerate boys that we are, we're coming back with the betting show.
You look at the way he bounces off tacklers, the way that he keeps his eyes downfield, his vision, his ability to find holes, his pass catching ability, right? Because he had.
In my lifetime, I'd put him at probably around the 2 area, with, again, the only other person up there being King Ricky.
Anthony Richardson or Caleb Williams at the 111.
Yeah.
So just hit us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of B.S.ing Sports here on the B.S.ing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. With me this evening is we're going to do a bit of a rotation. Obviously, last week for our prediction show, we had a whole bunch of people on. We're not going to do that every week. That's a little overwhelming for the camera and the laptops and the computers. We're just not going to do that every week. So here we are with Jake and Monty. Boys, how we doing?
Good, man. Good. Getting over a hangover after last night's show.
Good win from Bandit
right.
today.
So of the 3 of us, Monty is in first. We're tied for first with 32 and 16. Jake is in fourth at 26 and 22, and I am tied for fifth at 25 and 23. So I got to have a better week.
It's all close minus Hawkins. Hawkins, he gave us a generous lead week 1.
He very much did at 19 and 29. Yes. So yeah, as long as I'm not last, that's all that matters.
Amen, brother.
Amen, amen, amen. All right, so let's get into it. This is our NFL prediction shows for tomorrow's games. Quick shout out to the Buffalo Bills beating the Miami Dolphins the other night. Obviously, there was a situation with a scary concussion. We just won't talk about it. It's unfortunate. Hopefully, Tua is doing well and he's healthy. Moving forward to our predictions. Let's throw us across the top so people can actually read what's on the screen there. Yeah, so first game that we have listed, because Jake did it in a weird order, is the New Orleans Saints at the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is favored by 6.5. The over-under is 45.5. Monty, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to ride with the Cowboys. I have them winning the game. I picked them last week as well. 6.5 points is a lot in the NFL. And the Saints did look like a pretty powerful offense last week. I do like Dallas's defense, but I think 6.5 is too many, even at home. So I'll take the Cowboys to not cover, and I will go under.
All right, Jake.
I actually changed it up right before the show, and I took the Cowboys to win, but I don't think they cover 6.5 points. I think this is a close game. The Saints defense is looked improved, and they always play tough, and they always play tough against the good teams, and they win the games you don't think. So I think this is going to be a defensive game for both, and so I got the Cowboys not to cover and the under there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I have the Cowboys to cover, and for the 2 of these teams, like you pointed out already, Jake, last week, the Saints look like a pretty viable offense. So for these teams to go over 45.5 points, but I think the Cowboys win by 7. So, I mean, just by numbers there, that's more than 6.5. So that's where I'm at on that. For those of you unsure about what the other people have picked, it's on the screen here. Please feel free to bet with whoever you'd like. Like I said, Monty is tied for first place. Next game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. Detroit is favored by 7.5 points. The over-under is 51.5. Jake, you can go first this time.
So last week, if you watched the show, I talked a lot of shit on
Baker Mayfield.
And man, oh man, did I eat that crow. But the thing about Baker is the inconsistencies. And so I'm taking the Lions to cover here. I think both teams are going to score, just like against the Lions last week. The Rams scored, and I think the Bucs have an offense. And so give me the over on that game and the Lions to cover.
Okay. I am going to also take the Lions. The Buccaneers looked really good last week. Baker looked really good last week. I argued with Jake a little bit on the show about what he had a problem with Baker on. And I'm really glad that Baker showed out for me. It was like a perfect thing for me to get on Jake for. But no, they're not going to go into Detroit and beat the Lions in Detroit. They're just not going to do it. I do have the Lions not to cover, though, because I think it's only a 3 or 4 point game. But I do think it goes over the 51.5 points. I expect big things from Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I also expect Sun God and Laporta to get back on the same page with Jared Goff and for them to also show out. Monty.
Yeah, I have all the same picks as Bill. Like you said, I'm very big on Amon-Ra this week. I have him in all my DraftKings lineups just about. I think he's going to dominate this week. I'm hoping for around 10 to 12 targets for him.
Yeah.
It's very hard to beat the Lions with who they are right now, as Dan Campbell's the head coach at home. That team just gets fired up, and they play really hard for the guy. But like I said earlier, this is the NFL. We're not talking college here. 7.5 points. That's just so many points for two very good offenses. I think the game will be closer than people expect. I could see a 4 to 5 point game. So I really like the Lions, but I just can't get behind that number at 7.5. So I'll take the Lions in the over. Hopefully we have a shootout. Should be a fun game.
Should be a fun game to watch. I agree. Jake, you're on an island out there, buddy. The only person thinks the Lions going to cover.
Oh, well, either I give a game or take a game.
Everyone has the Lions to win.
Yes.
Yep. Everybody has the Cowboys to win. Everybody has the Lions to win.
Those are the two biggest spreads, huh? Oh, no, we have one down there. Bigger spread.
Yeah. Down here, the Ravens and Raiders. Next game is the Indianapolis Colts visiting the Green Bay Packers. It's likely Jordan Love does not play in this game. The Colts are favored by 3.5. The over-under is 40.5 points. So on this one, I took the Colts. Anthony Richardson looked pretty good last week. There's some stuff that they need to fix up a little bit to square away. But I think, with more reps, Anthony Richardson will – What's up, Z-Money? It's good to see you, bud.
Welcome back, buddy. Always appreciate it, dude. Cowboys.
Yeah, just the loss of Jordan Love, I think, is pretty big for the Packers there. Malik Willis,
He's not an NFL quarterback.
He's not. He's really not good. I'm glad we're all on the same page there. So I took the Colts to cover, and the under on that one. I think it's going to be a one-sided scoring affair. Unfortunately for the Packers, so I've got the Colts, Monty.
Yeah, I see everyone's on the Colts this week. Besides me, I'm taking the Packers. That's my upset. I think last week I had the Patriots as the upset. You said you're kind of impressed by Anthony Richardson. Me, not so much. Yes, he can run the ball pretty well, but he had a lot of very bad throws last week. Looked like he was kind of rushing through his progressions, sailing the ball a few times. I think I'm expecting the Packers to come out and just pound the ball. Is Josh Jacobs healthy? Have they said if he's healthy or not?
He should be good to go, yeah.
Yeah, he should be playing.
I would not be surprised if they can stay on the field and convert some third downs. I would not be surprised if Josh Jacobs gets the ball 30 times this game. And I think it's going to be, I don't know. It should be a close game, but I do think that the Packers can squeal one out. It should be a fun one too.
I will say this. Ryan and I kind of briefly talked about it on the Eagles recap show the other night about the Packers. This is looking at the next 3 or 4 games with Jordan Love possibly missing all 3 or 4 games. This is the one that I think they could most likely take versus the others, because you got the Vikings, I think, next week, and then I forget who's the week after that, but they're not going to beat them, especially not without Jordan Love. I just still think the Colts come out victorious here.
Only reason I took the over is because I felt like, in looking at the board, just about everyone took the under. I feel like everyone's going to be betting the under, so I'm just hoping that everyone's wrong.
Gotcha.
Chiefs,
Jake?
Hollywood Brown is not expected to play in the regular season.
Damn. He did have surgery, didn't he?
Adam Schefter. I assume he did, but man.
Well, I saw they listed Jordan Love as doubtful. I thought he was going to the IR. Like, I saw 3 to 6 weeks. I just assumed that it was like a for sure thing. He was missing 3 weeks. They're talking like there was a chance he could play this week. It's kind of throwing me off.
Yeah. Monty, I don't hate your Packers pick here, though. To me, the Colts are boom or bust with AR. He completed 49% of his passes last week. You can't win games consistently in the NFL like that. And the Packers defense is extremely good still. And so I think they make it difficult on him. I think it's a close game. But, oh, man, I thought I put not to cover. Oops. But I got the Colts to cover and the under, I guess. So
the thing with me is I'm not an AR-15 hater. I need to see some more before, because I know everyone was high on AR-15 going into the season, and I just need to see a little bit more than 2 or 3 games, however many he played last year plus last week, before I'm buying into Anthony Richardson.
No, that checks out. Full transparency, when the Colts were on last week, I was working at the bar, so I did miss most of it. I only saw highlights, and obviously when you watch highlights, all you get are the good plays.
Well, he had some highlights, I can tell you.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least there were some highlights that I spoke highly of that.
No, he didn't look terrible at all. He just
let's see. The New York Jets coming off of a bad loss in San Francisco.
I think we lost.
That was delayed.
Yeah,
that was delayed. Sorry, I caught that super late. We have the New York Jets visiting the Tennessee Titans. Jets coming off of that bad loss in San Francisco. The Titans coming off of that bad loss versus the Bears, where the Bears offense put up 0 points and they won the game. Jets are favored by 3.5 points. The over-under is 40.5 points. Money.
I love the Jets this week. As someone who watches a lot of Titans football games, I think that the Jets are going to be a really good team. A lot of people are giving them a lot of shit for losing to the 49ers last week. The 49ers are obviously a great football team. I like the Jets to cover, and I think that the Titans can score a little bit this year. I think what's the QB? Will Levis. I think he's not scared to take chances, almost Jameis Winston-esque. So I like the over. And I also don't think that the Jets defense is going to be as good as it was last year. I know they did play the Niners week 1, but that defense was elite last year. So people took the under in every Jets game last year. I don't think it's going to be quite that this year.
Okay.
Yeah. I got the Jets to cover this one easy. Look, I like what Will Levis does. He is a gunslinger, but they are not the 49ers. And I think the Jets are going to be able to run and pass all over this defense. And Will Levis against the Jets defense is going to give up a ton of points. True. That is very, very true, Ryan. But so give me the Jets to cover this and the under. I do not think the Titans are a good football team this year. I think Will Levis is not able to fill pressure, and that is what caused all those turnovers last week. And what's up, Pete? And so to me, give me the Jets to cover and the under here. I don't think it's a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I'm feeling the exact same way about this one. I love the Jets this week against the Titans. I've got them to cover. However, I think it's a one-sided affair, and obviously at some point the one side is going to stop scoring. Give me the Jets to cover and also the under. Ryan made a good point and said Rodgers hadn't played in over a year. Of course, he's going to start slow. And not to mention, you had to go on the road against that 49ers team. And as already stated, that 49ers team is a very good football team. So,
we do have Gucci as the only person to take the Titans here. So, Gucci is
I thought about the Titans, but
Gucci, a big Titans fan this week.
You're on an island there, bud. Gooch. Good for you,
buddy.
I do like Tony Pollard this week. He's like everyone's kind of betting against him this week because he's playing the Jets, like I said, from last year. But I think Tony Pollard's going to have a good week.
Hawkins says that Rodgers is half-hearted into it. I don't know that I agree with that 100%. I mean, if he was half-hearted, I feel like he probably just wouldn't come back and play. Like, he had the opportunity to not come back and play.
Yeah. And still make a ton of money.
Exactly, because it's guaranteed money. Timmy Brandt hates God, I hate Tony Pollard. Good for you, Tim. Good for you. Moving on to the next game. Speaking of those San Francisco 49ers, they are visiting the Minnesota Vikings this week. 6.5-point favorites are the Niners, and the over-under is 45.5. Jake, go first.
Oh, man. Okay, so the 49ers defense, they look good. And I'm not sold. I am sold on, just lost his name.
Sam Darnold.
O'Connell. No. Oh. O'Connell's the quarterback.
What position are you looking for?
Offensive coordinator. The head coach for the Vikings.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Man, where's Ryan when you need him?
O'Connell? Is it O'Connell?
O'Connell. That's what it is, yeah.
Is it O'Connell?
I think it is.
Well, I guess they're both the same name then.
We have these computers in our pocket. Let's look it up real quick.
I know, that's embarrassing. But I'm scared for Sam Darnold. They don't have Addison going. And Tim over here with the OCD.
I know, man. He's like looking at the wrong shit here, man.
Give me the 49ers here. They're going to get pressure on Darnold, and he's going to start seeing ghosts. So, to me, that is the play. And give me the under. I don't think they scored near as many points. They're going to double cover.
Ryan locked the document. I cannot edit it anymore. I fixed the one for you. I caught that in time, but Ryan has locked the document. I can't fix nothing. That's really unfortunate for Joey, who just takes L's on half the week.
Yeah.
Good.
Joey, man. I called you. I texted you. Can you zoom in?
Yeah, I got you. Give me a second. Is that better, Gucci? The feedback in the chat would be nice. I think that does look better. You just can't see the whole board now. But since it's only
fine.
the frame,
You're only missing Joey's
Yeah.
no picks, so it's fine.
Gucci, is that good, bud? He's taking
I like it. I think it looks a lot better.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, Jake said everything. The Niners looked really good against a team that people think will be good, the Jets. The Niners looked significantly like they outclassed them in every facet of the game. You don't miss a beat when Christian McCaffrey goes down. That's really saying something. So the Niners look scary. If they stay healthy, they look scary. So obviously the Niners to cover and the over. I have no faith in Sam Darnold. There's a reason he's on his 5th team. I just don't have faith in Sam Darnold.
Got that 7th-year bump, man.
Yes.
Hey, if Gino can do
magically,
it,
he's going to be super efficient every single week. No, he's not. And this is a good Niners defense that's going to expose him. So I've got the Niners to cover easy and almost get the over by themselves, in my opinion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at, too. The Niners, it just feels like they're not one of those teams that's ever going to get upset as a 6.5-point dog. They're just too solid of a football team. So I think that's probably the only team that I would say is good enough to never lose a 6.5-point game. I say never; they could lose this week, any given Sunday.
Yeah, watch them lose now.
But I like what Bill says about the Niners offense too. I could see him putting up 35 points easy, and then that leads us to a pretty easy over as long as the Vikings can just get us 2 touchdowns or two field goals and a touchdown. So yeah. I love the Niners this week. I think it's going to be a pretty easy game for them. High fantasy scores all around.
I agree.
Once again,
I'm right there with you.
Joey is the only person taking the Vikings. He is on his own island there, and that hurts because he didn't fill out half the sheet. So,
yeah, I feel bad for him, but he read and agreed to the rules. Like Ryan, to Ryan's credit, he does all the stuff with the computers, and like all of our overlays and everything are all fantastic. Ryan does all of that stuff. Thank you, Ryan. He also sent out like in-depth, detailed rules of this predictions league. And Joey agreed to it. And now week 2, he's just taken L's for 8 games, and that's going to be tough to recover from.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what I don't get is he picked the teams to win. Why didn't he just put the covers and over? Like
maybe he thought he was going to do it like while we were on the show, so he didn't like tip his hand. But I don't understand why. Like everybody else's is in there. You're not tipping anybody's hand.
Ryan said, "Just marry me already."
Yeah, I really don't even look at everybody else's picks when I fill mine out. To be honest.
Same.
Maybe I will if it gets like down to the end of the season and it's me versus somebody else to win, you know?
Yeah, need to fade some people so you don't get in last.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be last. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll just keep picking the same stuff the person in last is, knowing I ain't gonna lose.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we'll probably tie with
Hawkins
after this week. So
yeah. Tim just giving us a cushion. Yeah, Tim, he really is.
Next game.
Yeah, Hawkins, Joey's gonna give you a chance to catch up. All right, Gucci says Niners offense did not look good outside of Mason's output. Niners are going to win, but only score 20 to 24 points while their D keeps the Vikings under 20. I disagree. Ryan agrees with that take, and I'm going to disagree with it.
Wow. Interesting.
For a year and a half, I've been saying Brock Purdy is not a good quarterback, and game in and game out, he makes me look like an idiot.
Yeah, he's good enough. He is definitely good enough.
He runs the offense how it's supposed to be ran, and if it wasn't for Ayuk dropping that touchdown, like
Ayuk catches that touchdown, that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah, he put that on the money. So
they have so many weapons, man. It's hard to say that the Niners offense isn't going to score more than 24 points, but hey, I respect it if that's what you believe. It's just bold, in my opinion.
Right.
And Sam Darnold's on the other side. They could get a defensive touchdown or 2.
Correct. Yeah. Sam Darnold is on the other side. Next game is the Seattle Seahawks visiting the New England Patriots. Patriots coming off of a big win against Cincinnati there. Seattle's favored by 3.5 points. The over-under is very low at 37.5. That is our lowest spread of the week. I believe is it my turn? It's probably my turn, right?
Your turn. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Your turn.
Yeah, I took the Seahawks. While New England did impress me in beating the Bengals last week, I also think some of that has to do with how rusty and injured and banged up the Bengals are as well. But congratulations to the Patriots for getting a win. But I think the Seahawks go into New England and handle business. I've got them to cover, and I do think it goes over because 37.5 is a very small spread. You're talking 21-17 and it's covered. So yeah, give me the Seahawks here. Monty.
Did they say if Kenneth Walker's out or not?
They did. Zach Charbonnet is getting the start.
That's not good. Zach Charbonnet didn't look great last week. He did have that touchdown pass, but other than that, he looked slow.
Interesting.
I'm going to go, but with that being said, I am taking the Seahawks to cover. I think the Patriots are a terrible football team. I am 32-16 in these picks right now, and that's partly because I took the Patriots to win last week. Bengals not good in the beginning of the season, and I don't like Joe Burrow's hair, so I took the Patriots, and it panned out pretty well for me. So, yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks to win this game, and they're going to cover. And I love the under. I could see maybe the Patriots score one touchdown. If that, I could see like a 21-0, 21-3 game. So that's where I'm headed in this game. Also, I'm interested to see how many touches Ramondre gets this game after 25 last week.
Oh, dude, he's the bell cow. And if you listen to mine and Ryan's podcast for fantasy football, I've been beating that drum all off season that he is going to be your league winner.
Well, watching the Patriots game last week, I couldn't tell who the receiver, like who is their receiver. I couldn't tell if it was Polk, Douglas. I have no idea. KJ Osborne, I don't know who they're.
Led in targets.
Who did?
Douglas.
He did?
Amari Douglas. And then it went Douglas, Thornton, and I forgot the third receiver. They put a random third receiver out there.
Because he's irrelevant. Ryan asks, when do we see Drake May? I've got a take on this.
Go ahead, take it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it depends on where they're at. If they're riding Jacoby Brissett and they get through the Hawks or 2-0, and then, week 6, they're 5-1, 4-2, we're not going to see them this year, depending on how it falls apart after that. However, if they go into week 6, week 7, week 8, and, they're 2-3 games below 500, I think maybe that's when they make the call and they see what they got in Drake May. Because they do need to figure it out, whether or not like they want to or not. They're going to need to figure out what they got in Drake May. They drafted him with what the what was it, 8th overall pick? Third overall pick. They took Drake May. Yeah. So we're going to see him unless Jacoby Brissett's lighting the world on fire. So
no shot. If the Patriots start 5-1, I'll put a board down and lay thumbtacks on it and walk across it on video. There's no way they start 5-1.
I agree.
Crazy shit like that. You're gonna anger the football gods, dude. All Patriots fans rejoice.
Oh man.
And I don't think Patriots fans want to be winning. I'm pretty sure they want a tank season.
Well, there are a ton of receivers that I think they can get if they did tank this year. And you could probably still get good quality receivers, but that is for a different show to talk about the up-and-coming prospect.
As Ryan stated in the comments, please go to YouTube, or if you're not on YouTube because you're on Twitch or Twitter or whatever it's called now, X, please go to YouTube and subscribe and continue to watch our video, and please interact. As you can see, we interact with the crowd, and we love having all you guys. But again, it's really important that you subscribe to our channel. In addition to that, before Jake gives his prediction, we are about halfway through the show. I do want to add that, actually, Jake, you know more about this than I do. Do you want to talk about our Week 4 giveaway?
Oh, there you go. I was about to say, yeah, our Week 4 giveaway. I'm going to scoot over here so people can see my face. We were giving away 5 cards.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
What a play there.
That's not what I meant to do.
He's distracting from the cause here.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it. My bad. All right, never mind. You do you, boo-boo.
This man making me dance over here. What's up, Jerry? But we're doing a card giveaway. We're giving away 5 cards. We're giving away a Puka patch. We're giving away a CJ Stroud rookie card. We are giving away a J.K. Dobbins to 49, a Stephon Diggs to 49, and I, for the life of me, can't remember. A James Cook to 299. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and retweet our post here that is right here in the middle of the screen, and then comment and tag a friend who likes cards or likes football, and then we will do a drawing. Last year we gave away a CJ Stroud Prism card that one of the Twitter guys got. Fantasy Football Dads, I think, or can't remember.
Fantasy Football Dads is who won. Yeah.
He got that card last year. So we're going to do that quarterly, and then we're going to do it in the playoffs, and we're going to do a big drawing for the Super Bowl. So stay tuned, subscribe to us, and we're going to keep it rolling.
Yeah. All right, Jake, let's give us our predictions on the Hawks, man.
So I think Seattle wins this game. I think it is a close game, and the Patriots are playing for their head coach. The new head coach they have, They're playing hard. And like we saw against the Bengals, they're well coached. And Brissett's not going to put the ball in harm's way. So I think it's close. I don't think they win, but I think Seattle wins by 3. I think that is good. And so we always give the hook. So I think they don't cover. I think this goes over. I see like a 24-20 game.
20 points.
Yes, 20 points there, Timothy.
From where?
That is 2 field goals and 2 touchdowns. And
is Ramondre going to
Stevenson
kick the
is
field goals too?
Huh?
Is Ramondre going to kick the field goals too?
Probably, man. What do you mean?
He's the only player on the damn team, dude. I can't see them scoring 20. Not this week.
No, we will see. Seattle's defense does look good, so that does scare me. The under is probably a safe bet, but we'll see. They have this as the lowest. Oh, nope. Never mind. There's
Second
one
lowest.
lower.
Yeah.
The second lowest over under game. So Vegas knows the odds. They think it's going to be a low-scoring, boring game. So let's hope they're wrong for my sake.
The New York Football Giants are visiting the Washington Commies. Washington is actually favored at 1.5 points. Over under is 40. Who's scoring? Over under is 43.5 points in this game. Go ahead, Monty. Go ahead, Monty.
I can tell you who's scoring. Anybody on either offense, because these are 2 terrible defenses. So I love the over this week. Or no, I like the under this week because it's terrible. Because it's 2 terrible defenses, I love the under this week. Because making picks that make sense based off that logic never wins you games. So I'm taking the under. I'm assuming that Jaden Daniels is going to have a good game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking the Commanders, and I think Daniel Jones is. I mean, you got Bryce Young, and who I love. So if I'm saying he sucks, he sucks. You got Bryce Young and Daniel Jones, the 2 worst quarterbacks in the NFL. So it's hard to pick the Giants to – I can't really see – if they can win a game this season, it's probably against the Commanders, right? Like, who else could they beat?
I think they have the Panthers at one point.
Do they? Okay, well, if they play the Panthers, they can beat the Panthers. So I'll take the Commanders.
Games.
I'll take the Commanders to cover over. I think the Commanders win big this game.
No, Monty, you said under, buddy.
You took the underdog.
That's what I said, right?
No, you said the over. That's the second time
I got the under.
Over.
Well, I want the under. So I'm taking the Commanders to cover and the under. But I do think Malik Neighbors is going to have a great game against that terrible defense.
All right.
I like this take. Drew Lock will be the starter next week because of this game. If Drew Lock's your starter, heaven help you.
Is Drew Lock the Giants' backup?
Yep.
They wanted Tyrod Taylor, but he signed with the Jets.
What about DeVito? What happened to him?
Nope, sorry.
Where's he at?
That's my bad again. I have no idea where DeVito is.
It's probably in the USFL or some shit. Either that or he's running a pizza joint.
I don't know if you saw what
he's the 3rd string quarterback on the Giants.
Okay.
Did you see what Ryan said? He said zoom in since we're all right next to each other and we can just do our picks.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you're new to the show, what we do at the end of this is we keep the scores, and at the end, whoever's in last place, they have to buy their least favorite NFL team's merchandise, whether it's a hat, a sweatshirt, a shirt, something. And then they have to come onto this pod, and they have to wear it and talk about how they are the biggest loser for the NFL pick'ems.
Well,
and we have a lot more this year.
Since I'm from Alabama and I didn't really grow up with an NFL team, I just kind of root for Alabama players. This year I chose the Dolphins. Everyone on the show knows that I hate Lamar, so if I come in last, I'll wear a Lamar jersey.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. And
there's no team that I really hate. Like, I don't hate any teams.
Yeah, I like that, Tim. You are one of the biggest Lamar haters out there. So
yeah,
Gucci says he can't wait to see Hawkins in a beautiful Dak jersey. For those of you who don't know, Hawkins is a hardcore Eagles fan, much like Ryan and myself, and he does despise the Cowboys. So that would be something.
Hawkins and Joey fighting for last early. But Jaden Daniels looked good, especially for fantasy football. He looked really good. He was the only rookie quarterback that looked good last week. He ran, he tumbled, didn't really slide. I think they still need to work on that. But to me, I don't see them scoring a bunch of points just because the Giants' offense is really bad. Daniel Jones looks like a shell of himself. And so the under to me is going to hit on this, but I got the Commanders winning. They just have a better quarterback? We really don't know what we're getting here.
No, they do. You've watched Jaden Daniels play. People are putting him in the Richardson category saying he can't throw. He can throw the ball.
Oh, no, he's a very accurate quarterback, and he's very fast. And his big knock was his size. And if he doesn't slide, like at LSU, he did not slide. So his knock was he was going to get injured if he didn't do that. He's doing that.
We have a question from the crowd here.
Ooh.
Jerry Bagshaw asks, which of these happens first? Winston gets traded or does Watson get benched?
I'll take this one. I think he gets benched before they trade Jameis Winston. They signed him. They gave him money. They want to see him play. And the only place I can see him going to is the Dolphins. And I don't think the Dolphins are going to pull the trigger on anybody. They have an intricate offense. And the only person that knows that right now is Skylar Thompson. He is not a good quarterback, but he knows the plays, knows where to go with the ball. Whether it gets there or not is the question mark. But
I think with a full week of practice, Skylar Thompson is going to look better for the Dolphins. Keep in mind, he came in late third quarter. They were already down 17, and it was like they had nothing going for them before Tua got hurt. So I think with a full week, Skylar Thompson will be more than serviceable as a game manager if and when Tua comes back.
I would love to see Winston play for either of those teams, the Dolphins or the Browns. Good receivers on both sides. He'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I know you're big.
There's no free agent quarterbacks. Like, I mean, last year I guess you would have said the same. Flacco was out there last year. He's obviously not this year. You got Tannehill. That's it, right? Who else is there?
There was a rumor coming out of South Florida today that they reached out to Tom Brady, and I was like,
Tom Brady is not coming back to the NFL. Like, it's not going to happen.
Ryan asks, Tannehill back to the Fins?
No, won't happen.
No.
They should hit up the boat, Blake Bortles.
There you go. The boat himself. But, Bill, what do you think? What do you got, buddy?
I mean, I get it. There's like, what is it? All guaranteed money, 270 million reasons why Deshaun Watson's going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. So I don't think Winston gets traded. However, I also don't think that Watson gets benched. I think the Browns made their bed. They gotta sleep in it, fleas and all. Because I mean, what you gave up to get him, and then you guaranteed him the money. Unless the NFL takes the reins on him because of the new sexual assault case, I just don't see the Browns not running him out there every week because of how they got him. Yeah, like what it cost to the Browns organization right now is outweighing the intelligence of starting him. And I'm not saying that's a great way to manage or run an organization, but that's how I'm looking at it as an outsider looking in. Listen, I'm completely impartial to the Browns. I don't care. I don't really like Deshaun Watson as a human being, but moving past that, it just 270 million reasons why he's starting.
Oh yeah. Great question, Jerry. We appreciate it, man. Keep them coming.
My neighbor's a Browns fan, and he was just over here. He is not in good spirits about Deshaun Watson.
I bet.
He's got, what is it, 3 more women have come out since Friday? Like,
yeah, terrible football player, even worse person.
Yeah.
That tweet, he's a better person than he is a football player.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's close.
Gucci says it's another Russell Wilson situation like last year. Browns just got to lie in their bed at this point. Yeah, exactly what I was just saying. He's a better person than a quarterback. Some dude I saw on TikTok earlier this week. I remember seeing that one as well. Yeah. So did we all give our picks for this game? Not me. I didn't give a pick on it.
Yeah, no.
The Giants suck. Jaden Daniels looked pretty decent. I got the Commanders. I got them to cover and the under because I don't think both teams are going to score that many points. So that's where I'm at. Let's see. Los Angeles Chargers visiting the Carolina Panthers. Chargers are favorites only by 6.5 points. That's kind of a surprise to me. The over-under is 38.5. I believe, Jake, you get to go on this one, bud.
I'm up. I looked and saw my border there was on Panthers over, and I was like, I did not take the Panthers, did I?
No, that was Monty.
Monty. Whoo, my heart stopped. Okay, yeah, no, I got the Chargers here. They dismantled the Raiders, which I think it even shocked me. I thought that was going to be a closer game. They just went out there, handled business, kicked the Raiders' ass, and I was shocked. So I think it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be ass beaten here for the Panthers. The Chargers defense is just as good. No, I can't even say that. New Orleans has a pretty good defense. So, but I don't think this is a close game. 6.5. I think the Chargers win by a touchdown, and I got the under going just because there's no way the Panthers score. Sorry. Like I was a big Bryce Young hopeful here. Did not look good. As the group chat for this likes to flame me for the 2 takes I had. But
Well, I mean, if they were bad takes, then you deserve to be made fun of. Just throwing it
but
out.
nobody said my good takes, but whatever.
We always talk about your good takes.
Yeah,
just not
nobody
you.
remembers the good, but they will shit talk the bad.
It's just like when you're at work, right? You can do everything right 1,000 times. The one time you don't, they're going to call you out on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I took the Chargers here. I was impressed with how the Chargers looked last week, running the ball a lot. J.K. Dobbins, welcome back. The Los Angeles Chargers looked good. They ran the ball a lot, much like a very stereotypical Harbaugh offense, which takes the pressure off of Justin Herbert, lets him to relax in the pocket a little bit more. And I like the game plan. I really did. On the flip side of that, man,
Yeah,
I know it's still early. Bigger bust, Bryce Young or Jamarcus Russell?
Whoa.
Listen, I get it's still early, but what is Bryce Young? Huh?
I'm an LSU fan, and Jamarcus Russell is probably the biggest bust of all time.
We'll have this conversation in 2 years, and maybe we'll all feel differently about it. I agree, Jamarcus Russell is the bigger of the 2 busts. I'm just saying, number 1 overall pick, and has not put anything together.
He still has no time to throw the ball.
I was about to say, as soon as he snaps it, he's 8
Dude,
alive.
he's getting 8
That's
alive.
It was just a random question. All right. Calm
No,
down,
it's
guys.
not on you. I think it's a little too
Stop
early
castrating me.
for
Relax. Pull back a little bit. Let's go. Calm down. But yeah, so I got the Chargers to cover and the under. Money.
Yeah, Bryce Young was just put into like the worst situation. There couldn't have been anything worse for him. Last week, I took the Patriots as my dog to win outright. Same spread, 6.5 last week for the Patriots. I can't tell you why I'm picking the Panthers. The Panthers, I mean, hopefully Bryce Young goes out there with nothing to lose and plays like he did at Alabama. He did win the Heisman. We've seen him play quarterback. He's a good quarterback in college. Hopefully he can get something going in the NFL. I love Bryce Young. I'm rooting for him. And maybe it'll just be a crazy game. I know Harbaugh coach games usually don't go off the rails, but it's got to go over somehow. So maybe that'll help me.
Okay. Gucci asks, bigger bust, Bryce Young or Deshaun Watson on the massage table?
I'm not answering that. The fact you put that on the screen is wild.
Yeah, it's all right. No worries. Moving on, the Cleveland Browns at the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3.5-point favorites are the Jags. The over-under is 41.5. The Jags, as we all know, were leading going into the second half last week and lost to the Dolphins. Again, not a huge fan of the Deshaun Watson situation, and they did not show me anything offensively or defensively against the Cowboys. Now, again, I'm a very objective Eagles fan. That Cowboys team is good. I'm not saying they're not, but we expected way more out of the Browns, and we didn't get it. On the flip side of the ball, Doug Peterson had a game plan that he kind of sort of got away from in the second half. Then, turnovers hurt the Jaguars. And you mean when your running back fumbles the ball on the 1-yard line, that's kind of a big deal. So I think the Jags clean that stuff up. The Jags stay on top here. I think they cover the 3.5-point spread. I got them winning by 7. Yes, Tim Hawkins, I am aware the Jags are 1-7 in their last 8 games.
I was not.
But I got the Jags to cover and the over in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, remember, Jake, last year they were winning that division, and then they just crumbled.
Correct.
They did, you're right. Yeah. Go ahead, Timmy boy.
Yeah, I'm going with Jacksonville to cover against the Browns. I don't like the Browns. Mostly because of Deshaun Watson. That offense does not look like it can move the ball very well at all. To be fair, Jacksonville didn't look like – I mean, they did have that fumble, like you said, Etienne fumbling at the 1. That would have gave them 24 points. But the offense didn't look too great last week. So, I mean, if Jacksonville can score 24 this week, I don't think the Browns will score more than 17 points. So
Correct, yeah.
I'll take Jacksonville to cover with the under. Should be a pretty boring game if you ask me.
I would agree. Jake.
Yeah, I think this will be an interesting game for sure. I like this comment that Lawrence still got paid because I want to bring up, we just talked about the backup quarterbacks. Who are they going to bring in? You got to pay a quarterback, and you got him in the first round at the number 1 overall pick. You have to pay your quarterback because there's nobody else that is going to play. And so to me, Tim, that's why I said he still got paid.
Jerry points out the Jags win and cover. The run defense is good. If Browns can't run, what can they do?
Yeah, but I
think it's a rhetorical question. I don't think that actually needs an answer.
The Browns, I have winning. I have the under here. Browns got a great defense. Jacksonville, they have a good offense, but I don't know what they're going to do if Lawrence can't get the ball out. And I just don't think 41 points is covered. Both off, or like Deshaun Watson, they're going to run the ball and hopefully not make him throw more than 5 yards down the field because he wasn't making those passes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This will probably be
Jake's
the
on
game
an
that
island.
never comes up on Red Zone because nothing's going to happen in this game.
Yeah, right.
Jake is not on an island. We do have 2 others who took the Browns as well. Let's see. Oh, no, don't do that. The Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens at the biggest spread of the week at 9.5-point favorites. The over-under is 41.5. Monty.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens. They're not going to cover the game, in my opinion. 9.5 points is a lot of points in the NFL, like I've been saying all show. I do like the Ravens to win outright, though. I think it'll be probably a 7 to 6 point game, 6-7 point game. And I like the under because the Raiders' offense looked atrocious, right? Like, if Devontae Adams isn't going, who do they have? Like, I know they did. Was it Madison that caught that touchdown, or was it Zamir White?
It was Madison.
Yeah, they had that one nice play to Madison, which was weird to me. I thought that would be Zamir White catching passes out of the backfield, but
Madison looked like the third down back there.
Yeah. So, yeah, not much to be said about this game. This one shouldn't be that fun. It's probably going to be a pretty good fantasy game for Lamar because he is good against shitty teams. So I'll take the Ravens to not cover in the under.
Jake, why don't you give us your patented Raiders take?
Oh, you know how this goes. The Raiders fucking suck. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you watched it last week. They got their ass beat by the last place Chargers. They made J.K. Dobbins look like an all-pro running back. The Raiders are trash. The only bright side, Brock Bowers. They ran it through him. He looked good. Had 8 or 9 targets. Loved it. And but to me, the Ravens, they lost to the Chiefs last week. They're going to come back so mad. They had 10 days to prep for this, 10 days to watch how the Raiders just can't play football. And so they're going to cover the 9.5 points. Vegas put that as the highest total because they know the Raiders suck. Give me the over because I think it's going to be a 40-7 game.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Ravens here. I don't think they cover the 10-point spread. And I do think that the score goes over 41.5 points. I expect the Raiders offense to be just a little bit better than they were last week. And as a result, that gives me the over. But again, Monty already said it. 10 points is a lot in the NFL. Like, just come out and beat a team by more than 10 points, or for a team to consistently get beat by more than 10 points is just something that you don't see super often. So yeah, give me the Ravens not to cover and the over. Tim Hawkins says Pierce has no faith in his offense when he punted instead of going for it on 4th down.
Oh my God, dude, that was terrible. They were on like the 40-yard line, down by a touchdown in the 4th quarter, and they punted the ball. I have no idea why they punted that ball. That was one of the worst coaching decisions I've seen in a long time.
Jerry thinks the Raiders cover. Ravens.
Hey man,
win.
I hope you're right because I need Andrews to show up.
I need Henry to have a good game. Like the fact they get away from that, I think cost them. I think that cost them last week.
Moving on to the next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams coming off the overtime loss to the Lions, visiting the Arizona Cardinals division game. Arizona is favored by 1.5 points. The over/under is 48.5. Jake.
Yeah, I got the Rams and the over here. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, just like the Rams and the Lions game was. Arizona has an offense. They do not have a defense. If you watch the betting show, Bolton, the Cardinals fan he brings that to light every time. And the Rams have a great offense. Welcome back, Cooper Kupp, and your 48% target share that you got. He is going to win everybody their fantasy leagues. If you have him, congratulations. But high-scoring game. I don't think the Cardinals are there yet. They need some defensive pieces to actually win games. They don't have them right now. I think they're a year away from competing and being a playoff team. But give me the Rams here to underdog.
Yeah, underdog.
Yeah, I put the cover next to it because I forgot they were underdogs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, I got the same take. I got the Rams. I've got them winning comfortably. And I think it goes over. I say comfortably. I think a 7-point victory is comfortable. When you get into like the field goal situation, that's not nearly as comfortable. So I do think the Rams win by at least 7 points. And I do think it's somewhat of a shootout. I mean, I know Puka Nacua is out, but Cooper Kupp looked fantastic last week, and Matt Stafford looked pretty good too. So yeah, give me the Rams in the over. Monty.
Yeah, the over is super popular this week because of what we saw last week. I think the Rams had the second most pass attempts and the most total yards in week 1. With that being said, I'm taking the under because I feel like the whole world is going to be betting the over. 48.5 is a good amount of points in the NFL. We have seen sparks from the Cardinals already early this season, but it was just one game. I'm hoping that maybe the Cardinals can come out and lay an egg. I love the Rams. Obviously, the Rams own the Cardinals. I think they're 13-2 in like their last 15 meetings. It's almost like the Bills and Dolphins. The Cardinals just can't beat the Rams. I think that the Rams offense is going to be a little slower without Puka. I mean, I know Cooper Kupp is that guy, but 21 targets last week. I mean, he's got to get tired eventually, right? There's no way they can just feed him the ball every single play. So I'm going to go Rams, and I'm going to take the under. Hopefully we're right because we all have the Rams.
Yeah, agreed.
Hey, Jerry, we appreciate you following along, buddy. The Rams win. Harrison gets his first touchdown. Parkinson is a good streaming tight end. Yes. No, he is.
I have Parkinson in a lot of DraftKings.
Yep. That is.
I don't know if Kyler can see over the line to throw the ball to Harrison. Like he didn't look at him once all last game.
There was a couple plays where he was wide open down
wide
the
ass open.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also had that drop early, and I think Kyler was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna run."
He did come out and say that he had a bad performance, so maybe he just wasn't open a lot too, because he admitted that he played a terrible game.
Timmy Rand says, "I just traded Henry away. I hope he hurts his big toe and they sit him out this week."
He's done.
Then
that
he responds
before.
up because I didn't immediately put his comment on the screen. He decided to be, Ryan's son, and say, "I'm getting tired of you guys not putting my comments up."
I'm sorry, Timmy.
Derrick Henry has missed time with a toe injury before. I wish you wouldn't wish injury upon my glorious king.
Right.
Moving on, we can just skip this game. Nobody cares about that one. Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Denver Broncos. Steelers are favored as the away team by 3.5 points. The over-under is 36.5. I'm going Steelers on this one. Their defense looked fantastic last week against the Falcons. Now I understand that, Kirk Cousins, a little rusty coming off the knee injury. And maybe he's like not totally accustomed to that offense there in Atlanta, but I've got the Steelers just looked so good last week against the Falcons. And since Bo Nix did struggle in his, NFL debut, I don't have a ton of confidence in the Broncos. So give me the Steelers to cover and the under because I don't think there's a lot of points scored here.
Timmy, I will chug a beer if we get to 50 views. We are at 40 right now.
Yeah, everybody watching, if you could share on your platforms that you're watching. I know you're all watching on YouTube, but share it to Facebook, share it to Twitter. Let's see if we can get it up to 50. And Jake will chug a beer, and I'll just get another glass of whiskey and drink it very slowly.
Yeah, I might join you on the glass of whiskey. No beer here.
Timmy, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers. Like he said, the Steelers looked really good last week on defense. I think this game's going to be a field goal fest, sort of like last week. I think that's all. Was that all that there was scored? No, Kyle Pitts scored a touchdown. There was a ton of field goals in that game. That's why I think 3.5 might be too much. I know that sounds silly, but anyone knows that if you gamble 3.5 points, you can get caught by the hook all the time. So I'm going to take the Steelers. I know that hurts Jake, and I don't think they're going to cover, so I'll go with the Broncos to cover. And I love the under because both these offenses looked terrible last week. hopefully, I'm not a Bo Nix fan, but I'm a Jake fan, so I'll root for Bo Nix for him. I'm hoping Bo Nix can get it going.
Appreciate you, buddy. We love the love. Yeah, no, this game scares the shit out of me for one reason and one reason only, and that is TJ Watt. That is the only thing that scares me. But Troy Franklin's going to play this week. Bele's not playing this week. So we have the burner deep threat. He has the connection with Bo Nix. We might get to see them open up the offense. This is all speculation here.
It's not emotional at all.
Jerry, I got to ask. You think Fields will have a better performance than Bo Nix this week?
No, he means a better performance than last week.
Oh, I don't think he is. I don't think he's a good passing quarterback. Great fantasy quarterback, cannot throw the ball.
He didn't turn the ball over, which is what they asked him to do. So in everyone's eyes, that's actually good.
I think he had less pass attempts than Anthony Richardson, right?
He did. Yeah.
But yeah, me being the homer I am, I took the Broncos. I think this actually does go over. I think we have a 24-23 game. I don't know.
I feel like for games to go over in the NFL, you have to be able to pass the ball, and neither of these teams can pass the ball.
Correct.
I mean, I don't even need that. I need a 20-17 ball game.
Yeah, but once they get in the red zone, I just feel like all their drives are going to stall out when they can't throw it anymore.
Tim says Fields was not a good fantasy quarterback last week. No, like I said, all he did was not turn the ball over. I didn't say he was good for somebody's roster. I just said the Steelers asked him not to turn the ball over, and he didn't.
Yeah. Jake said he's great for fantasy. He didn't say he was great for fantasy last week, but in the past, he has been great for fantasy.
Yeah, he finished as quarterback 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Gucci, I'm not putting that on the
He got
screen.
hurt last year, but when he played, he was lights out.
He's an electric runner. He's fun to watch run the ball.
Nope.
Right. I wasn't even going to put it on the screen, man.
We're at 41 views. We need 9 more.
9 more views, and Jake will chug a beer, and Monty and I will both very slowly just sip some whiskey. So we are moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City is favored by 6.5 points. The performance the Bengals put on last week, I think it should be more, but neither here nor there. Over under 47.5. Monty.
Yeah, 6.5 at home after seeing the Bengals last week seems way too easy to me. I have convinced myself to not take these easy lines a lot early in the season when it comes to college football and NFL. I'm not doing it with this one. I'm going to take the Chiefs to cover. I think that the Bengals looked very bad without Jamar Chase practicing all season, and then T. Higgins is obviously out, and Joe Burrow has that new weird haircut. I don't like the vibes of the team. Maybe they can get it going later in the season, but it might take a little bit. And I like the under this week because I don't think that the Bengals can score many points unless somehow Jamar Chase is just back to being an animal, which I need to see it before I believe it. I'm going to take the under. And the Chiefs do obviously have one of the top defenses in the league.
Where is it at so I can point it out here? Where is it? Right there. Gucci putting Taylor Swift. I just glanced up and saw that.
47.5 points seems like so many. They're giving the Bengals like this isn't – what year did they go to the Super Bowl? 21? This isn't 2021.
That was a long time ago in football years.
Jake?
So I got the Chiefs winning this. They look like a well-rounded football team, and they literally got Tyreek Hill 2.0 and Xavier Worthy. So it's kind of depressing. They got Rashid Rice, who is their slant over the middle, big receiver, yak guy, and they still have Travis Kelce. Yes, he does not look like himself. Yes, he's not getting the targets. He is older, and so he's not the fantasy guy that he was, but he still knows how to sit in zones, knows how to be there for Patrick when he needs him. So I think the Chiefs are just going to mop the floor with the Bengals. Like Tim said, they look like a shell of themselves. So give me the over here. I think the Chiefs put up 30 by themselves. So give me
I agree with the comment that Travis Kelce doesn't look as good as he has in the past, and that's part of that's because he's playing a quarter between the sheets before every game with Miss Swift there. So priorities there, Travis, priorities. Jerry says got to go Chiefs until Burrow looks healthy. Gucci says did someone say Taylor Swift? I just mentioned her again. Under 47.5. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs to cover the 7-point spread here. And Ryan already put in the chat that Vegas is implying it's a 27-21 Chiefs victory with the lines. I, however, believe it is a 34-21 victory for the Chiefs, which is why I go with the over. I think they win by more than 2 touchdowns. And yeah, the Ravens are a good team. So what you saw out of the Chiefs last week was them being challenged by a good team. It's going to happen, obviously, as the season goes on, right? So yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs to cover and the over in that game.
Yeah,
Jake, I appreciate you going through the comments, man.
I think Travis is going to take it easy until the playoffs. I mean, they're pretty much a lock to make the playoffs, so I'm sure he'll turn it up when it matters. Plus, Noah Gray did not look like a bad tight end last week.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. Yeah,
he's only been there 3 years, but I hope he doesn't.
The Chicago Bears at the Houston Texans. Houston is favored by 7.5 points. This is our second biggest spread of the week, tied for our second biggest spread of the week. Houston's favored by 7.5 points. The over/under is 45.5. And I believe it's me this time, right? Or no, it's Jake.
Oh, is it me? Okay, so I have the Texans to cover and the under here. Look.
Did he mute himself?
The Bears didn't score an offensive point last week. He couldn't even throw for 100 yards. And by him, I mean the number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. Looked terrible. Houston can put up points unlike the Titans. Houston is not going to turn over the ball to the Bears defense like the Titans did. So give me Texans to cover, and until I see the Bears actually put up points, I'm taking the under in every single one of their games. Even though they hit the over last week, it was not because of Caleb Williams. It was all thanks to Will Levis, Mr. Mayo Man himself.
Yeah, it's really tough to win a football game when you don't score an offensive touchdown or even an offensive field goal.
Really
that's a bit extreme. Having said that, I do think they get on the board this week. I think Caleb Williams and the offense get going this week. Whether it's like a little screen pass to DeAndre Swift or they actually start using those really, really good receivers that they have there in Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore. But I think they get on the board this week. So I think the 7.5 is a trap. However, because they're still fresh and they haven't done anything cohesively yet, I'm going with the Texans to cover the 7.5 point spread. And that I lost my train of thought. You cut me off. I completely lost my train of thought. No, it's fine. It's fine. And then that the Bears and the Texans obviously cover the over on this one. I think about 48 points is scored in this game. But the Texans to cover and to win.
Yeah, I don't mind those picks at all. I did end up taking the under. I couldn't really tell you why I took the under. I don't think that the Bears offense is going to score a lot of points. Maybe that's why I took the under. I do think that the Texans have a good offense, obviously. But I also want to say I think the Bears are going to be by the end of the season, they're going to be a good football team. If you can win a game without scoring a touchdown, that's an impressive feat. Like, you don't see that very often. So, but with that being said, I'm going to take the Texans, but I think the Bears are going to cover that 7.5. I think they'll keep it close, and I'm rooting for like a, 20-17 game. DeAndre Swift looked like I said someone else looked slow earlier in these games. He looked slow last week. He didn't look electric at all. And I think, are all their wide receivers healthy? I saw a lot of them, or 2 of them on the injury report.
Yeah, Dunze and Allen are questionable / doubtful.
Yeah, that's not good for Caleb Williams. Like they gave this guy the best setup of any number 1 overall pick in the history of the league, and if they're getting hurt, that's not good for him.
Chat, we have made it to 50. Sorry to cut you off there. Jake is going to go grab a beer.
I'm going to pour a glass of whiskey.
Well, I'm not going to. I'll stay in here and talk for a few more minutes. I'll talk to the crowd here. Jerry says the Texans win, Bears cover. I'd take the under as well. Ryan says Odunze doesn't seem expected to play. Hawkins says might be in last place, but we can't even show your picks. People wanted it zoomed in, and since Jake, Monty, and I are the only 3 on, it made sense for the 3 of us to be shown on the screen there. Tim, it's nothing personal.
This was the hardest game for me to pick. I really liked both teams in this game. I didn't know who to take to cover. I think the Bears I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears went outright at least keep it close and cover.
Please hit that like button, as Jerry says. Please hit that like button to make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, please switch over. Subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate y'all very, very much. Ryan says, Bill.
What up, Duarte?
Duarte says, this is what we're doing now. It's a common theme at this point that when you get to 50 views, Jake chugs a beer. I have not gotten up yet to go get my glass of whiskey. So while Jake's chugging a beer, I shall return.
No, I was going to wait for you, but okay. But yes, common theme is I get drunk on these now. So
Jake, do you have any action in college football right now?
Nah, I got zero action actually right now. Sadly. Why? What's going on?
Just curious. I have Ole Miss. I need to check.
I need 5 chugs in the chat real quick. And if you haven't already, I'm going to talk about it real quick. Like and subscribe, please, to YouTube. Go follow B.S.ing Sports on X and like and repost the tweet for the card giveaway. We're giving away a CJ Stroud rookie card, a Puka Nacua patch, Stephon Diggs numbered, J.K. Dobbins numbered, and a James Cook numbered card. All 5 go to one lucky person that does that. We will do that at week 4. So please go do that and win a free card. But here we go. Cheers, boys. It's been a fun show.
Great show.
Let me look at that Fresno State line, Duarte. Maybe I'll put some money.
Got a lot of chugs in the chat here. Chug.
Oh.
How'd that taste? Did that taste good? Was it everything you hoped it would be?
It was cold. Oh, so
Hurts when it's
cold.
cold.
19.5, Duarte. You think they cover that against New Mexico State?
Maybe
I'll put some money on Fresno. They did look
good.
But
Let's talk about this last game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, let's do it. Monday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons visit to the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles coming off that big win against Green Bay in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Eagles are 6.5-point favorites at home. The over-under is 47.5 points. I get to go first on this one. Yeah, I mean, home team Eagles. Stop it, Gucci. Yeah, I constantly say I'm such an objective fan and I compliment the Cowboys, and then you come in with this shit. The Falcons are not winning in Philadelphia. They're not. They looked really, really bad. And I know it was against Pittsburgh's defense, which is definitely better than Philadelphia's defense. However, the Eagles defense, outside of 2 long balls to Jaden Reed, didn't look terrible. Very Vic Fangio-ish, right? Like bend but don't break, except for those 2 plays. And there was a lot of positives to take away from it. Now, there are obviously some negatives. But I've got the Eagles to cover. I think they win by 10. And I do expect it to go over in this one. And I'm pretty confident in the over and the Eagles win by 10 situation.
Yeah, go ahead, Timmy. It's all you, bud.
I picked this game before the A.J. Brown news came out. I think he listed as doubtful, and he didn't even practice yesterday or something like that. So
and today, yeah.
Yeah, more than likely he'll be out.
With that being said, I think that the line would move a little bit with A.J. Brown being out, but we do have it as what it is on the screen. But I still like the Eagles to cover that 6.5 number. The Falcons looked atrocious last week. Hopefully Devontae Smith can come out and have a huge game. That'd be fun to watch for me. And I like the under because I still think the Eagles defense can be a good defense this year. And the Falcons obviously look like they can't score. They scored 1 touchdown and then kicked a few field goals. Kirk Cousins looked lost out there. So,
Gucci, I'm not putting that one on there. But shut up. Now you're just talking blasphemy. But yes, I agree here. I do think with Jerry here, the Eagles win. And the over does hit. I think Kirk Cousins will be more comfortable. Christian, shut up. You may or may not be wrong. I honestly don't know who the Eagles' corners are. I know
it's the secondary. Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. I'd like to remind you, Reed Blankenship had an interception last week.
And Cooper DeJean is a baller.
Cooper DeJean is a baller. Yeah, like so Gucci's just hating on the Eagles because he's a Cowboys fan and he can't be objective even though we run a show. So like whatever.
But I will agree with Gucci on one thing. I think if there is a bust potential here, it is this game. Just I want to see how this offense looks without A.J. Brown. But also it is a primetime game on Monday night. And Kirk Cousins is playing. Everybody knows how that goes.
That's true. There's no way the Falcons are going to be as bad as they were last week. I think that's the worst outing they'll have all year.
Ken Brand points that out. Kirk Cousins' record on Monday night sucks.
Oh yeah, no, it absolutely does. And so
It's not just Monday night though, Ken. It's any primetime game.
Thursday night game, Sunday night game, anytime that it is just Kirk Cousins under the lights on the big screen, you get to watch a shit show.
Indeed. I like that the Eagles benefited from that.
Yeah, it looks like Drake London might not be what everyone thought he was going to be this year.
Dude, I honestly just
not to
think
overreact, but of course we will.
I think
That's
it was
not the one I
Kirk
want.
Cousins. Holy cow, that was a terrible
Sorry
camera
about
angle for me. Just bug-eyed over here.
Do we have any questions in the chat that we can get to before we get on out of here? Rusty, thanks for joining us, bud.
Hey, Rusty, we
Also-
need to link up, dude. We need to play some poker.
All of you other guests, all 62 of you, thank you for coming in and getting Jake to chug a beer. We appreciate all of you. If there are no more questions, show the tweet. Oh, yes, show the tweet one more time.
Yeah.
Jake, fire away.
Like I said previously, we are doing a card giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. We are giving away 5 cards. We are giving away a CJ Stroud rookie card. We are giving away a Puka Nacua patch card with Stetson Bennett on it. Yes, we have drinking problems here. He has drinking problems there. We're giving away a J.K. Dobbins numbered card to 49. We are giving away a Stephon Diggs numbered card to 49 and a James Cook numbered card to 199. All you have to do is go follow us at B.S.ing Sports Podcast right there on X, like it, retweet it, and tag a friend in it that likes sports cards or likes football or just a friend that you want to bug. Do it. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, and you will be in week 4's drawing. We're going to do them quarterly, and then we're doing the playoffs, and then we're doing a big giveaway, which will be a surprise, but I promise you, you want to be notified for that for the Super Bowl.
Yes. Good. Let's see.
When he says go Dogs, he's talking about Georgia.
Yes.
Our Philadelphia fans just Georgia fans now because of the Eagles just draft all the Georgia players?
No, my old man and I have been Dogs fans for a long time. Yeah.
Lock in for Ole Miss.
Jerry says over Bijan rush receiving yards, whatever it is. Lock Ole Miss for Tim.
Oh, yeah. No, Ole Miss, easy lock. If you watched our betting podcast last night, that's the pick right there.
They're up 23 right now, 20-3.
What quarter?
Second.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand it. I think they were
20 and a half. 20 and a half.
Oh, was it 20 and a half? Is that what they closed at?
Notre Dame took their frustration out on Purdue.
Yeah, that was big.
I said, I think I'm perfect right now on my bets. So I really hope everybody tailed. I haven't got to look since we were doing the show, but.
Fair enough. Well, good luck to you guys and your bets. That's going to do it for us here on B.S.ing Sports, part of the B.S.ing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Thank you and have a good night.